History records that there was never a governor of New York so universally detested as Lord Cornbury. He was among New York's first governors, a colonial official. One cannot help assuming that Lord Cornbury's hobby was largely responsible for his negative image. Oh, he was a rotten governor, all right. But it was his hobby, really, that made people distrust him. Lord Cornbury was born in England in 1661, the eldest son of the second Earl of Clarendon. He served in Parliament for some 16 years, after which he was appointed governor of New York and New Jersey. Pursued by a long list of creditors, he eagerly accepted the opportunity to flee England, and at the age of 40, Lord Cornbury arrived in the colonies. The governors who had preceded him were nothing to brag about, but at the time Lord Cornbury was out of office, it was generally agreed that, well, let's put it this way, a colonial bumper sticker might have read, A, B, C, anybody but Cornbury. It must have been the governor's hobby that caused the sentiment. He had a hobby that folks at the time found just plain disagreeable. Now again, I don't mean this to sound as though he was blameless in every other respect. Quite the opposite, in fact. Lord Cornbury was arrogant, despotic, grasping, dishonest, and he didn't even need to be. An account of £2,000 was given to him by the Province Assembly for transportation expenses. He didn't need that much. His public service salary was awarded him 7 years in advance. He could hardly have used up all that money. Or could he? For Lord Cornbury had a hobby, an expensive one. And because he was an officially appointed governor, no one could do anything about it. As governor, he meddled in church politics quite a bit. Lord Cornbury rather favored the Church of England, so he made it uncomfortable for New York's prevalent Presbyterians. He even had a couple of Presbyterian ministers thrown in the slammer, allegedly, of course. Supposedly they'd been preaching without a license, but took nothing less than an Episcopalian jury to get them off the hook. And when Lord Cornbury was not feeding the Presbyterians to the Episcopalians, he was petitioning the New York legislature for more money. When they resisted, he dissolved their assembly. Then he tried New Jersey, and they resisted. And he pulled the same stunt with them. Now there was nothing left but to misappropriate funds that should have gone to the fortification of the seacoast and to other important purposes. Instead, they went to the support of Lord Cornbury's hobby. The people were dumbstruck. Finally, Queen Anne got wind of what was going on. In 1708, she bounced the 6-year governor of New York and New Jersey and put Lord Lovelace in Lord Cornbury's place. I guess you could say that Lord Cornbury got what was coming to him. No sooner was he out of office than his creditors nabbed him. After a spell in debtor's prison, he returned to England and entered the House of Lords as the 3rd Earl of Clarendon. As far as we know, he took his expensive hobby with him. He collected costly clothing. I mean, while he was governor of New York and New Jersey, he just had to be the snappiest dresser in the colonies. It was a lifelong hobby of his. For from the time he was 8 years old until he died at 62, every day, day and night, Lord Cornbury dressed like a woman. And now you know the rest of the story.